Welcome back to another video on DC Comics, and today we're covering Generations Shattered #1. This is the issue written by Dan Jurgens, Andy Skimmett, and Robert Venditti. Now the artists on board are Ivan Reis, Fernando Becerin, Aaron Lopresti, and yeah, there's a lot of artists on board, guys, and it's a huge issue, 80 pages, and it sets up a lot of stuff for the future of the DC Universe. And we have a lot of old characters like Kamadi, 1939 Batman, Steel, Dr. Light, who show up in this issue. There's a lot of nostalgia, and I think you guys will like that. But yeah, guys, if you're ready, let's dive into this issue. We start in Earth's future, after the Great Disaster. Kamandi, the last boy on Earth, and the Tiger Prince Tufton are being chased by bats. Tufton falls. Kamandi tries to help Tufton up, but that's when he realizes a huge white void is taking over the Earth. The bats are chasing Kamandi because they believe he is the reason for this white void. The bats are calling it the Goneness. The Tiger Prince is pulled into the white void. He is gone. Kamandi runs. He is now being chased by the bats and this white void. The bats shoot an explosive. Kamandi is pulled into a cave by someone with a yellow armored arm. Kamandi barely survives the blast. Kamandi says thank you to the man who saved him. The yellow armored arm is actually Skeets. This man says, I hope that saving you was a mistake. It might have blown our mission. If we fail, everyone dies. Everything ends. This man's name is Michael Carter, aka Booster Gold. Skeets reports that there are only 83 seconds before the Chrono Storm, aka the White Void, takes over this world. Kamandi sticks with calling the White Void the Goneness. Booster Gold prepares to leave with Kamandi and Skeets. He needs to assemble the rest of his team, but that's when the bats come crashing through the ceiling and they attack. Booster Gold is shot in the chest by an arrow. He falls down. Kamandi tells Booster, if you have a way out of here, now's the time to use it. The White Void approaches them. Booster Gold gives Skeets to Kamandi. Skeets attaches to Kamandi's arm. Kamandi jumps to the portal to assemble the rest of a team. Booster Gold stays bleeding, and he is erased by the White Void. The White Void spreads through all of time from the 853rd century to the 64th century. The time stream is affected the most. Characters such as Hourman, Degaton, Reverse Flash, the Linear Men, the Time Trapper, Rip Hunter, Abracadabra, and Wave Rider all notice that time itself is being erased. Wave Rider finds Booster Gold on his dying breath and tries to find out what's going on. The White Void arrives. We shift to a man with the black coats, walking on a plane through time and space. He has waited a long time, but now he can finally create paradise. The cloaked man looks at a great image of all of Earth's heroes from past to the future. They cannot stop him. He looks at Batman and says, unfocused, ill-prepared to prevent me from shattering their world. Their march to the end has begun, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. We shift to Kamandi and Skeets flying through the time stream. The idea of a time stream confuses Kamandi, but he must keep pushing forward if the universe is to be saved. Kamandi and Skeets travel to the future first to continue gathering their team. We shift to the Linear Men. They notice the chronal energy that surged in the Great Disaster. They travel there and arrive on the same plane as the Cloaked Man. The Cloaked Man repurposes them and turns them into his servants. He rules with an iron fist. We shift to the Legion of Superheroes. Brainiac 5 reports about the chronal energy approaching. But turns out, it's already here. The White Void has already arrived. The Legion is shocked. The White Void continues to delete all the time. The Legion of Superheroes try to form a plan. Saturn Girl leads a group of heroes to save other members and civilians from being deleted. "You hear a rumble," Saturn Girl says. "There's nowhere to run. Our time is up." Saturn Girl is deleted by the White Void. Superboy shouts, "Imra!" That's when Kamandi shows up and saves Superboy at the last minute. The future is destroyed by White Void. Superboy gets up in the time stream and grabs Kamandi by the neck. Superboy demands to be sent back. He needs to save his friends. He asks Kamandi why he has been taken. Skeets tells Kamandi he grabbed the wrong Legionnaire. Kamandi was supposed to grab Brainiac 5. Brainiac 5 was smart, they needed his intelligence. But there's no time now. The White Void is approaching. They must push further. We shift to the year 1993. Steel is fighting off Cyborg Superman. Steel upgraded his hammer. He slams down his hammer on Cyborg Superman's chest. Steel shouts, "You messed with the wrong town." Cyborg Superman blasts Steel off with his heat vision. Steel gets up and gets ready to fight. Steel and Cyborg Superman, they collide. That's when they're suddenly hit by the White Void. They both blame each other for it. Kamandi and Skeets show up and take Steel into the time stream. Cyborg Superman is obliterated by the White Void. Steel wakes up and joins Kamandi's group of heroes. We shift to the year 1987. Dr. Light is accepting a Nobel Peace Prize. She is honored. But that's when Hector Hammond crashes through the ceiling. Yakum! Everyone is surprised by how big his head is. Hector Hammond tries to get Light's help in saving all time. They have to act fast because they're on a time crunch. Dr. Light does not believe in what Hammond is saying. Light's children try to protect her from Hector Hammond. That's when Kamandi hits Hector Hammond in the back of the head. Dr. Light sends her family outside. Hector Hammond goes to attack Kamandi, but that's when Dr. Light blasts Hammond into the back of the theater. Kamandi asks Dr. Light for help. Dr. Light says goodbye to her kids and walks with Kamandi through a portal into the time stream. Kamandi asks Skeets who are they recruiting next. Skeets tells him Superman is next. They fly out of the time stream into Metropolis. Kamandi is astonished to see his world before the great disaster. He's all excited to meet Superman. Kamandi asks Superman to join the group. Superman says he'll deal with the goddess later. Now, up, and away Superman goes. Kamandi is then punched by a younger Booster Gold. Skeets protects Kamandi. Booster thinks Kamandi is the reason for the White Void. Skeets assures Booster Gold that it's not Kamandi. Now, Kamandi is very confused. Now, Skeets tells Booster Gold about the White Void. He explains everything. Kamandi witnesses Superman get erased by the White Void. So Superman thought that he could just go into this White Void, destroy it, but that's not actually the case. He dies. The Man of Steel is gone. Booster Gold tells Kamandi to fess up. Kamandi tells him he was sent by an old Booster Gold to gather a group of heroes to save the time stream. Younger Booster Gold isn't taking any of this seriously. We shift to the year 1983. The Teen Titans are going up against Deathstroke, the Terminator. It's during the Jewish Contract events. Starfire saves Robin from dying. Kamandi shows up and meets Beast Boy. Kamandi thinks he's back home and smiles. Beast Boy is weirded out. Kamandi hugs Beast Boy very close. Starfire takes out Deathstroke with one blast. She is powerful. Skeets tells Kamandi she is the one for the team. Kamandi jumps Starfire and pushes her into the time stream. She joins the group. The Teen Titans are confused, but trust that Starfire will return. We shift to the planet Ran in space, sector 2814. Adam Strange is attacking these different machines with his wife, Alana. Adam Strange can't take down a huge machine. That's when Sinestro shows up. He's a Green Lantern. Sinestro introduces himself and takes down the big machine. Adam Strange is confused. Alana calms him down. Alana then states, he's here to help, Adam. Don't get all Adam Strangey on us. Sinestro shows off his Green Lantern ring. Adam thinks it's amazing. Alana knows there's hundreds of Green Lanterns out in space. Sinestro introduces himself and says, "My name is Thal Sinestro, native of the planet Korugar." Another machine attacks, and Sinestro smashes it to the ground. Alana is surprised. She thought Green Lanterns are peaceful. She didn't know that this Green Lantern Sinestro would be so ruthless. Now, Sinestro responds by saying that justice sometimes demands harsh terms. Alana is then shocked as she sees the white void, and then a portal opens. Kamandi comes through. Sinestro thinks that Kamandi is an enemy. He's the reason for this white void, and Sinestro goes to attack. The white void draws closer. Kamandi says he's here to help. Sinestro doesn't believe him. But then Skeets explains the situation. All is good. Sinestro joins Kamandi's group. Adam Strange and Alana are wiped out by the White Void. Kamandi then recruits Batman from 1939. Kamandi takes Batman to the Vanishing Points, the chrono energy station of the Linear Men, where all the recruits are. Kamandi introduces Batman to the other recruits. Kamandi sits down and Skeets cuts out. Skeets is not working anymore. Kamandi believes they don't have a fighting chance. He got heroes that he never heard of in his time. They're not legends. Skeets isn't working and Kamandi's confused on what to do. Booster Gold lays hands on Starfire and hits on her. Now Starfire punches him back and says, "No one lays hands on me." Now Dr. Light stops the fighting. Superboy shows up and reassures Starfire that they can all be trusted. She trusts only Superboy. Now, Dr. Light begins to explain a theory. She believes they are in a dimension made up of time itself. Booster Gold agrees and shows the group something amazing. Cracked pieces of time from the beginning of time to the end of everything. Images of the present day DC Universe, future states, and the upcoming Infinite Frontier. Now, Dr. Light says, "Don't you all understand? Our world isn't dying. Our entire history is dying." Now Steel steps up and agrees. He's a big fan of Dr. Light. He thinks there's a narrow window, a little chance that they can fix whatever is breaking time. Booster Gold then says, how do we reconstruct time? Batman knows Kamandi brought them together to fight the person who caused the White Void. Batman asks Kamandi who they are fighting against. So Batman's idea is, hey, to pretty much stop this all, they need to defeat who started it, right? Whoever started this whole mess. That's when the Linear Men show up. They're servants of the Cloaked Man now, and they ask the group of recruits to surrender. Starfire fights back. She blasts the Linear Men back. All the recruits are hit out into space. Steel and Sinestro, the Green Lanterns, save everyone from the vacuum of space. Sinestro then grabs one of the Linear Men and throws him into the cracks of time itself. Sinestro is blasted back by shards. You hear a splash. Now Steel begins to melt, but he keeps fighting on against his enemy. Dr. Light is hit by knockouts. They both crash through the cracks of time. Dr. Light realizes it's a helix. Batman takes on OMAC. They exchange blows, but that's when their fight is interrupted by the JSA, the Justice Society of America. Wonder Woman states, "Stop fighting each other and save it for the Nazis." Batman looks up confused and says, "Nazis? Am I back home?" Now, Kamandi, Superboy, and Starfire all fight off against the Linear Men. Superboy faces off against the Nemesis Kid. Both of them are transported to Krypton. Superboy is shocked. Krypton is supposed to be gone, destroyed. Nemesis Kid has found Superboy's weakness. Sinestro begins to get surrounded by sludge. Steel melts. The recruits are losing. Dr. Light tells Batman that someone is causing all this. Batman is ambushed by OMAC once again. OMAC puts Batman in a headlock, actually really in like a choke. Kamandi is pulled by Man-Beast. Kamandi, the last boy on Earth, is then defeated. He's down. Now, Starfire is separated from her Amazon enemy. Her fight has ended. Superboy defeats the Nemesis Kid and flies into the sky. Sinestro defeats his enemy. Steel blocks a blow from his enemy. Yes, thrash. Now, Dr. Light becomes powerful again. She starts to use her power to examine what's going on. Sinestro and Dr. Light realize that there is a time disruption. All of time is cracking apart. Every villain and hero realize this disruption. The Cloaked Man yells, "What have you done? You are aberrations, a threat to the fabric of time." He stands very mighty and very big. He's a huge villain, and all the heroes and villains are shot back. And Batman tries to hold himself. He's shot to the ground with all his might and power of the Cloaked Man. Now, the Cloaked Man, he arrives on the grounds. He's a villain named Dominus. Batman gets up. Now, Dominus introduces himself. He says, "Time, reality itself, for that matter, is my domain." Sinestro recognizes Dominus. He's supposed to be dead. Dominus reveals he's back and he's creating his own timeline. The recruits won't be alive to see it. Batman stands confident and says, "We aren't bones yet." Dominus says he controls all of reality. He controls the Linear Men. The Linear Men don't believe that they have been controlled all this time. Dr. Light and Steel object to Dominus's plans. He's killed trillions. Now, Dominus isn't surprised by all these heroes and villains' reactions, and Dominus decides to blast everyone back. You hear a big shakum. Now, that's when we see the recruits and the Linear Men. They fight back and begin to overwhelm Dominus. Dominus is surprised. He says, "It isn't possible." The recruits all attack, but Dominus shouts, "Go! Go away!" He shoots them back, and all these heroes and villains and the Linear Men are blasted through the cracks of time. Yeah, crack-a-crack-a-crack-a-coom! The recruits fall through the history of the DC Universe, many different eras, and the present, the future, and what's to come is now lost. It's very unpredictable now. Time is unpredictable. All the recruits, Starfire, Superboy, Booster Gold, Steel, Kamandi, Sinestro the Green Lantern, Dr. Light, and Batman get scattered across time. Batman is trapped in the future. He's attacked by a drone. Batman runs and then is confronted by something strange. He looks into a room and sees a woman all folded up. Batman asks, "What's happened to you?" That's when these men show up and begin to shoot at the Batman. They state, "Nowhere left to run, Halloween." Now we shift back to Dominus. He has taken control of the Linear Men once again. He sends each member of the Linear Men out throughout time to kill the recruits of Kamandi. Dominus walks through a portal and says, "The loose ends are dealt with. There are other matters that deserve my attention." Dominus arrives at his home. He puts on casual outfits and walks in the kitchen of his house. He says, "Daddy's home." Now he hangs out with his wife and children. Everything is going well for him, but for everyone else, things are not going so well. All of time is cracked, shattered. And that's how we conclude Generations Shattered #1. So that was Generations Shattered #1. And this is a very huge issue. First off, the artwork was amazing throughout. Like the details, how they differentiate, like the timelines, like the past, the present, the future. How they did that was really really cool. And how they drew the different characters like Kamandi, Batman, Steel, it was really neat. Now the artists like Ivan Rice, his art was really good. Fernando Pesarens, Aaron Lopresti, they all brought their A game, including John Romita Jr. He did a great job. And Mike Perkins ended it off on a great note. Like that very touching and quiet moments with Dominus at the end is drawn so well and ends the issue on solid notes. I thought the artwork was just masterclass throughout. Now, the writing, on the other hand, I'm mixed on, alright? Because the writing on, it's cool to see all these characters. It brings back a lot of nostalgia. For me, seeing Kamandi, the last boy on Earth, that's really awesome. He's a great character that doesn't get enough recognition. His series, Kamandi Challenge, that came out like a couple years ago, was really good. I read that whole series. The ending with like Jack Kirby, everything was just really good. I love that series. I love Kamandi as a character. So to see him in this issue and have a very important role was really cool. And Skeets was great as a supporting character. We have Booster Gold, Starfire. You guys know the characters. You just heard the story. Or if you already read the issue, you know the characters in this issue. The big ones like Sinestro, Batman. And they're all represented well. Like they're shown well, they get good dialogue, and they have some epic scenes. And seeing them all together is just a sight to behold. Now, the actual plot behind this and why they have to become like a team, and it's okay. Like you have Dominus, this character, who honestly only the last few pages did I like him. Up to that point, he was just a random generic villain that's trying to create his own timeline, destroy the universe, and create his own thing, and cause a white void to go out through the universe and destroy worlds. Oh, where have we seen that before? One, we've seen that Crisis on Infinite Earths with the antimatter going throughout different universes, and it was actually a white void there, but more like a better comparison would be like Zero Hour, where you see a white void and it's like a crisis in time. This is like another crisis in time. So not a new idea, not a great idea, like that idea is not the best, but seeing, okay, we need like a conflict, we need a reason for these characters to come together, and a reason for like the end of the universe type story to be made. Like, I get that, but they could have thought more about the plot a little better and made it more interesting. I wasn't really invested. I didn't care about the plot at all. I cared about seeing all these characters together, see their interactions, especially the interactions between a younger Booster Gold and like Starfire or Sinestro, where Booster Gold's like, I want your ring. If you die, I got it. So Booster Gold wants to be like a Green Lantern, or Booster Gold wants to get with Starfire because, come on, she's hot, so he wants to get with her, but he don't got a chance, so that was really good. But yeah, it was mainly the character moments and the characters themselves that brought the plot up. The plot itself and the story was very bland and generic, and how it ended, yeah, it was a quiet moment that kind of brought up Dominus's character up a little bit for me, but it didn't end it on a huge note that is gonna get you hyped for the next issue, Generations The Forge, coming out I think next month, which I'm still excited for, but this issue didn't really leave it off on like a very hyped moment, like, oh man, I just can't wait. No, I'll just wait. I'll see how it goes, and hopefully it's good. But yeah, guys, overall, a solid issue, a little long. I wish they condensed it a little bit. I tried my best to condense in this video for you guys, because there's a lot of filler moments, and just a bunch of, oh, we gotta go to this universe, oh, let's talk about the White Void, or, oh, Dominus, what's going on with him? What's going on with the Linear Man? There's just so much filler, but if you read it and you condense it, you could get something neat out of it, something you'll like. So yeah, it's your choice. If you guys want to pick this up, great, pick it up, enjoy the nostalgia, and get through the issue, have a fun time, and at least enjoy the artwork. The artwork looks amazing. But yeah, overall, I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. I recommend it. It's solid, not amazing, a little long, but we'll see how the next issue is. Maybe the next issue will make the plot even better and make it amazing. Here's hoping. Now, guys, if you like the video, give a big thumbs up. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next DC Comics video. But yeah, guys, tell me your thoughts on this issue down below. What would you rate it from 1 to 10? And yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.